Hello, peace, everybody. My name is Brenda Williams, and I'm the founder of Culture Shift Hers Unite. And this is empathic feminine leadership for an emerging world. So, I wanted to take a moment to talk about capacity for culture shifters. It's a retreat that I'm hosting, it's a 1 day retreat that's happening in the Metro Detroit area. So, you can drive in if you wish. But it is a 1 day retreat that's happening here in the Metro Detroit area. I've done some posting about it on Facebook, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper to one, if nothing else, to have us to take a moment to take a collective breath. So let's put one hand on heart, one hand on belly, taking a deep breath. Hold it, sigh it out. Deep breath. Hold it, sigh it out. Another deep breath. Hold it, sigh it out. I breathe in compassion. Breathe out judgment. I breathe in a knowing. And I breathe out doubt. I breathe in love. And I breathe out fear. I root myself. I speak for myself. I love myself. I understand who I am. I am free to express. I am an embodied prayer. I am sourced. I am resourced. And I am one with the divine. I am a living, breathing representation of the Most High. Deep breath in on that. Hold it. Sigh it out. Roll your shoulders back. Roll them forward. Interlace your fingers. Stretch up above your head. Get a good cat stretch there. Take it gently over to one side. Back to center. Other side. Back to center. We're going to peel. So peel. Yep, peel. And peel. Shake. Let out a guttural sound. Shake. Shake. Shaking is good. Shake. Shake. Dry brushing. Shake. Take your ring finger and gently tap it in the center of the eyebrow. Some people call this the third eye. I call it the first, but just gently tap here. Just gently, very gentle. It's a sensitive area, so be very gentle here. Deep breath. Hand on heart, hand on belly. Breathe. I am safe. I am secure. I am grounded. Amen. So before I start with anything, I definitely want us to just take that moment of grounding, of reminding us who we are and whose we are, and that the power that we're endowed with, even though there is so much upheaval happening and it's been going on for quite some time. And we've been noticing that it seems like the mounted opposition is closing in on us. And how do we carry not only capacity for the outer world and how it impacts us, but also our inner world, our interpersonal worlds, whether it's caregiving, it's divorce, it's raising children, it's personal losses. A dear friend of mine shared with me that her mother is in hospice and is making her transition. Another dear friend organizer, activist, just got out of the hospital and then has an event on Friday. So, how do we continue to do the work? How do we continue to, because I'm not going to say fight, because that would say that what we're standing for has a rival or an equal, and it does not, because love has no rival. What we're seeing is an outpicturing of a warped consciousness that has turned into warped behavior. And so, with that, I just want to remind us that whatever is happening on the planet, we're looking at political violence, economic uncertainty, global conflicts, climate events, and it is heavy and it is dense. And for those of us who are called to care, to teach, or create, it can feel insurmountable. And so today I wanted to talk more about why the capacity retreat is so important and why I'm extending an invitation to you. We only have 9 spots left, and it's small, intentional, because we don't need a huge ecosystem to make a change, because each of us is connected to source, because the word tells us where 2 or more are gathered, there I am in the midst. And where 2 or more, we're even talking about consciousness and our heart. When both of those faculties are connected, these 2 hands can do much. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. So I want to share with you why I created it and what you'll experience when you join us, because this retreat is my offering for leaders who want to carry the call without burning out. I can't guarantee a safe space, but I can guarantee a brave space. This retreat was born out of my own lived experience as clearly a Black woman in America who was caregiving for a father, grieving a mother, leading projects and communities. Some of you know the work that I do, some of you may not, but I am a multimedia mystic. I have a talk show and a podcast. The talk show of the Brenda Williams Show, the podcast Soul of a Lead Her, for she who lives and works from the soul. I run a 12-month mastermind for highly sensitive and empathic businesswomen who are growing and scaling their businesses. They are coaches, they're consultants, they're storytellers, they're liberators. And so they do this work in the world to make sure that they are bringing to organizations not just an awareness, but a consciousness to fundraising, to creating endowments, to ethical fundraising, to understanding the lived experience of Black and Brown bodies, Indigenous bodies, queer bodies. What does it mean to build with and not for? And understanding that legacy, in order to perpetuate a good one, we have to undo and understand the one that exists now and what has brought us to this right now moment, that it's a necessity to bring a different type of leadership to the table, that it is necessary and it is a requirement to bring those with a marginalized identity to the forefront of the conversation and decenter whiteness. So when we say things like that, people get bristled and touched, but we have to understand um, the foundation on which many of our institutions and, of course, this country was built on. And if we build something on oppression, if we build on fear, if we build with the tool of tyranny, the human soul has a natural inclination for freedom. The human spirit was born to be free. We are endowed with liberty as a birthright, and creativity pours through us because we're created by the creator. And so anytime it is subdued, there will be a pushback. Anytime it is come after, there will be resistance. It is a natural repercussion. And because the current factions know this, they have built, or they think that they have built gaps and walls and preventions for that human soul to express. So I want to center that I'm holding space for others who are struggling to hold space for themselves. Capacity just It isn't just a buzzword, at least it isn't for me. In this climate, it is liberation as practice, as a spiritual practice. It is how we survive, thrive, and continue to lead. Our bodies and spirits are being asked right now to metabolize so much. We are inundated on our social media platforms. I have, and I'm being very honest with you all now, very transparent and vulnerable, that I have many friends who do this work, who are in the nonprofit sector, who are in the literary sector, who are in what I call the capacity as emotional first responders. And they're afraid right now, and with good reason, because we were never meant to consume the amount of carnage that we have seen, especially over the last 2 years with the genocide that has unfolded in Palestine. And sadly, the Congolese and the Sudanese genocides have not made it to mainstream media. But what I am seeing, and what it is that I'm hopeful to continue to see, is that there are Jewish voices, there are rabbis who are calling for ceasefire. I was recently in Memphis, Tennessee, at the Civil Rights Museum, and one of the freedom writers said that the only person that came to pray for her, and she's a Southern Baptist, so she's a Protestant. She said that during that time of her, um, while she was locked up, the only person that came to see her was a rabbi and a Catholic priest, and they prayed for her. They didn't ask her about her denomination, they didn't even ask her about her faith. They allowed instinct and empathy, and we're seeing that there's a war on empathy. Imagine the very fundamental thing that makes us human. There's an attack on empathy itself. But empathy, I believe full heartedly, empathy is how we're going to see our way through. Empathy is the faculty that we use that helps me to not only understand the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of another person. No, it helps me to understand that it's my own too. It is me too. What happens to you happens to me too. I saw a dear friend make a post about her fear, and rightly so, on the attack on the LGBTQIA plus community. And I saw another sister make a post about her Black body and the fear that she has about just moving about in certain areas. And that fear is legitimate. And so, what I'm inviting us into with this retreat is to understand that injustice every day, the microaggressions, but I even say it's just aggressions. The cost is higher for women, femmes, BIPOC leaders, caregivers. And so this retreat is designed to counter that, to be a counter space, to be a soft space where you can lay your burdens down for a moment, refill, build capacity, and then re engage. Because rest is not what the empire likes. Joy, love, dreaming, imagining, having the audacity to imagine a future, to imagine a world where you thrive, where it's not a zero sum game, where everyone can live a dignified life. And so we will continue to name the pressures, but we'll also name possibilities. We'll explore what it looks like to lead without reproducing harm, and how to hold power with empathy, and how to draw on the strength of spirit. So, in my tradition, when we sing a song, I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside and study war no more. So, from a metaphysical standpoint, what does it mean to lay down our burdens by the riverside? That means lay down those things that have become heavy for us, our grief, our trauma, our lived experience, all real and all valid. But the river, water is a symbol of purification. Water is a symbol of holiness, and water is a symbol of renewal, and we will be by water. So, shout out to Tabitha, who will be hosting us in her home. So this will be in the metro area. We'll give you the address and all of the details once you sign up. But this is what I'm talking about as an ecosystem. So we have someone who is open, so gracious to open up their home to us to retreat. We have Lux by Renee. Shout out to Lux by Renee, who's providing the food and comfort for us. As in addition to that, Sanitha, who is a classically trained traditional Indian singer who will be providing sound therapy for us through her voice and other traditional Indian instruments to help us to regulate our nervous systems and to fortify our spirits so that we can get back out into the world and do the work that we've been called to do. Because what I have noticed, particularly about many retreats, is an escape. And while, yes, we do want you to escape and we do want you to retreat, this isn't about hiding. This is about remembering. This is about recalling who it is you are and whose it is you are. And so, what we can expect is grounding rituals to help you stabilize your energy. We're coming at this from a womanist and metaphysical framework, which really helps to embody leadership practices that will help us regulate our nervous systems. You'll have guided journaling, collective prayer, and sacred conversations to build your personal capacity map. So we'll be legacy mapping. We'll be digging into what is ours to do specifically and how we can let go, because building capacity is not about doing more or being more or adding more. It's about getting really clear with crystal clear clarity what is ours to do and what is ours to let go of, what is our responsibility and what is not. And so when we are squaring off with our shadow, when we're squaring off with the unhealed parts of ourselves, it can make the burden that much heavier. So, who is this for? Well, this is for mission driven women and femmes, non binary leaders, and intercessory accomplices, anyone who is ready to lead with both strategy and soul. And so, even in under the white supremacist delusion, we are devoid of soul. We do not bring in soul or heart or lived experience. It's black and white, it's a zero sum game. It is if then and only thinking. And we have wisdom through our legacies, through our bloodline, through our traditions. And when we listen to our ancestors, when we listen to our hearts and to our spirits, when we can get still enough, we can hear and we can find the solutions. But the beauty of this is that we're going to be in circle. There's only 12 women. As I stated, we have 9 spots available. And so I'll say women and femmes, non-binary folks are welcomed as well to join us in this space, because this is going to leave you with practical tools for creating healthy boundaries, and even the way we talk to ourselves, right? Understanding our soul's work and what qualifies us to do it, but then also the space to imagine a new possibility, because right now in this current reality, it's hard to see a different realm of possibility, but there is. We've seen it at every turn. We can look at our own bloodline, and regardless to what side of history your ancestors were on, those who were oppressed always found a way to come out victorious. So again, like I said, you'll have practical tools to help build healthy boundaries, discernment, replenishment. You'll leave with a renewed sense of joy and courage, because right now we need courage. Right now we need people to use their privilege and their resources to help those who are furthest away from the center of power. We need a supportive leadership who get it, who understand. Right now, we see everything is under attack. DEI dismantled. They're coming for Social Security and other communal and social supports for people. We're seeing Title I funding disappear, eviscerate. And probably the most egregious of all, record keeping, museums, libraries, trying to erase the history so that we do not understand. And so we forget but the body remembers, the blood remembers, and the land remembers. Your ancestors will not let you forget. So, with that, I am inviting you to this retreat. If you have any questions about it, slide into my DMs. I invite you to do so. Slide into my DMs. So, if this is resonating with you, I invite you to click the link here. I invite you to go over to my website, berhendawilliams.com, and go to the Culture Shifter Retreat and reserve your spot. Bring a friend, sponsor a person, gift this to someone who's in leadership that you admire. In fact, if there's a leader that you admire, say, you know what, girl, I love the work that you do so much. I want you here at this retreat because you deserve to be resourced and nourished to continue the work that I see you doing. And I want to also encourage you to just take a moment to reclaim leadership as spiritual, as an embodied practice, and not just something on the to-do list. So come sit in the circle and refill your cup. And remember, you are never meant to carry this call alone. And that's another tool of the supremacy regime, is that they want us to believe that we do something alone. Man against nature, man versus, no, there is no verse, it is with. And the feminine way is to operate in love and in community. So I just want to thank you for taking the time out to be with me, to breathe in and feel the breath of God come back to you and lead you. And I do pray this for you, that may your nervous system know safety. May your leadership be a blessing and not a burden. And I can't wait to see you at the capacity retreat. So before you go, I just want to remind you that it's okay to lean on others and that it's okay. Um, and of course, drop in the chat what it means to you right now or what you're craving most in your leadership. I would love to read your reflections. And so with that, my name is Brenda Williams. I'm a Culture Shifter, founder of Culture Shifters Unite. I would love to see you at the retreat. We have 9 spots available. And if this resonates at all with you as you do the noble work that you've been called to do, let us have the capacity together to carry the call. All right. Peace and infinite blessings. Bye for now.